Welcome, everyone, to the Week 11 series of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you haven't had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingwjs for article and video updates. Sunday Night Football is going to be a great one. This is a guaranteed. Kansas City Chiefs are heading over to Las Vegas, Nevada to play the Raiders. Jack, what you got for us with this one?
I'm very interested in this one. The Raiders won the last game after, a streak coming on by Kansas City in that divisional matchup. But now, after that 40-point game, we're looking for them to, repeat. We need them to come out after this big week of, COVID storyline after COVID storyline for the Raiders. And they're going to have to take on Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, all coming off a bye. But I'm looking for Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller to get heavily involved this week if they are going to outscore Kansas City. They're playing in Arrowhead. The Chiefs, their only loss is to the Raiders, and they definitely spent the last 2 weeks getting ready for this one.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that COVID thing. It was Celine Farrell who had COVID. He will be out for the next 2 weeks. There were 11 players who were considered high risk. Of those 11 players, 10 of them were on the defense. They are getting those guys, some of those guys back, including Arden Key, Malik Collins, Jonathan Hankins, Jonathan Abrams, Isaiah Johnson, LaMarcus Joyner, Kendall Vickers. But they will be without David Irving and Corey Littleton. These are going to be some huge hits. The defense also did not get to practice together this week. And that's not what you want to hear when you know that the opposing quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, that your defense did not get to work together in person to implement the game plan. It was mainly on the Zoom calls. That's not what you want right before a huge matchup. Like you said, the Raiders won the last one, and they won it really, really well. They really, really impressed us. They were really, really clean. Ruggs got his first touchdown in the game, hasn't gotten a touchdown since.
Yep.
My question for you is he about to get his second touchdown of the season?
Yeah, I think he does. I'm actually very excited for Henry Ruggs. He hasn't really produced the way that me or you expected this year when we were pretty high on him in the draft. He had 2 catches for 118 and a touchdown last week, and he really hasn't provided that big play ability that we've been looking for, the Tyreek Hill ability that Kansas City provides on the other side of the ball. But what I'm looking for here is Henry Ruggs to just start getting a little more open, those short routes, start getting comfortable catching the ball, getting the speed of the game. You're faster than everybody else. Go get it.
Yeah, go get it, go do it. Just go right over the top. I think what was most impressive about that game is Derek Carr had a much cleaner game almost than Patrick Mahomes. He was 22 for 31, the season high 347, 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes, although he had 3 total touchdowns, 1 on the ground, was 22 for 43, 340, 2 touchdowns, and his only interception of the year came against this game when Jeff Heath was able to pick him off. This is going to be a really, really great one. I think the matchup to watch right now is the Kelce Waller in terms of yards.
Yeah.
These are like the main guys. They love him. Kelce has been dominating. We just saw a 100-yard performance from him a couple weeks ago. Waller, as always, is a huge target, can do whatever he wants in the red zone, especially against a cornerback, not quarterback. You think Waller's going to get more yards than Kelce this upcoming game because of that size? Or do you think that Kelce, with the speed and his ability to break away from linebackers, is going to find some space to get more yards than Waller?
Yeah, it's hard to bet against a guy like Travis Kelce, but I am going to go with Waller just because I know the Raiders understand the situation this week, but he is a security blanket for them. I think Pat Mahomes has so many weapons that it could mathematically wind up where Travis Kelce could get touchdowns, but maybe not as many yards. But Darren Waller, I think, is going to get targets. I'm looking for one of those games like we saw with the Saints where he had over 13 targets, and I want to look for a game like that where he can really start taking advantage, and that allows Derek Carr to have those clean games, as you mentioned. The one thing I want to point out here, though, we haven't really talked much this year about Kansas City's defense, who is 6th right now in points allowed. They are not letting teams finish drives. Is Josh Jacobs going to be able to help Derek Carr take some weight off his shoulders?
Absolutely. I think that Josh Jacobs did a great job of that last week where Derek Carr really didn't need to do anything. The Devontae Booker as well stepped up and got a huge 21-yard touchdown for them. These running backs are solid. They can definitely get the job done. The last game, he got 2 touchdowns for him, 23 carries, 77 yards. That's what you want to see out of Josh Jacobs. That's the kind of game that he's going to give you. You know that he's going to step up in a moment like this. And if you're the Chiefs, if you're Frank Clark, if you're Chris Jones, you're Tyrann Mathieu, you got to stop him. You cannot let Josh Jacobs get going, similar to with Cook and the Vikings offense. If he starts gets going, Derek Carr will find a flow. It's going to mean that you're going to have to press up a little bit more, and then that's when Ruggs is going to burn you on the deep one like they did the last time. You can't allow that to happen. What I'm most curious about with the running back group that we're talking about is actually with the Chiefs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has had a solid season, but 10 carries, 40 yards last time, and now he has Bell. I think Bell's going to get a touchdown this week, dude. I'm actually pretty amped. He hasn't gotten one for the Chiefs, but more importantly, he hasn't gotten one in 2020. They did not get to see any bit of Le'Veon Bell the last time they played in week 5. And I think that Andy Reid is going to try to utilize Bell a little more than we've been seeing so far because they didn't see anything that had to do with him pretty much this entire season, especially when they played the Chiefs the last time.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned Clyde right there. He had an illness this week. I'm sure he's going to be good to go, but it does present an opportunity for Lev Bell, as you mentioned, to have a little bit of scoring upside this week. I wouldn't mind if they got him in the end zone.
Not at
They
all.
have plenty of scoring volume. They can throw him a little bit of the percentage. He hasn't gotten much yet, but I would like to see a Le'Veon Bell game. You know, I think that this Raiders matchup is actually one that he can take advantage of. He can look at this any way that he wants. But right now, I mean, the rush game is 13th for for Las Vegas, and Kansas City has a worse rush defense. They're all the way down at 29, but I am looking for a big Le'Veon Bell scrimmager. I want to see him get targets this week. But from a fantasy perspective, he could be a solid flex option.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he finds the way to get in the end zone. I got to take the Chiefs in this one. I know the Raiders are a great team. I know that they beat them in week 5, but Kansas City right now is trying to get that first seed in the AFC for the playoffs. They want that home field advantage. Only one team is going to get it. And right now, though the Steelers are up against a relatively easy matchup with the Jaguars, most likely going to win that to get to 10-0. They know that they cannot drop another one because if they do, it's going to be a much harder hold to come out of and get that. And get that first seed for the AFC playoffs. I think that Patty Mahomes is going to have a great one. I think that Derek Carr is also going to have a good one. His only interception of the game, of the season, came in this one for against the Raiders, like I mentioned. These quarterbacks don't turn the ball over. Carr only has 2. They're throwing touchdowns. I think it's going to be a really fun matchup. I see that it's only 57 projected points. I will gladly take the over on that. When they put up 72 points the last time, I expect this to be high scoring. Again, the Raiders defense did not get to work together this week. I expect Patrick Mahomes to come out and be dishing out touchdowns to Kelce, to Hill, to Bell, to Edwards-Helaire. It's just going to be a really, really fun matchup to watch. This is a great Sunday Night Football matchup. This is going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to defer on this one. I'm going to take the surprise pick here. It's interesting. We haven't really had to defer much this week, but I'll tell you, the Raiders are fighting for something different than that first round bye that the Chiefs are fighting for. Same division here. They're going to have to go for the wild card spot, and they are sitting right now in the 5th seed at 6-3, and they are comfortable. But they will be so much more comfortable if they can win this game. If they can have 2 division wins over this team, they can build this up, and they'll really only be 1 game behind them at that point. They understand the situation, but it will be tough without the practice. However, we did see Big Ben not practice last week, and he came in through 4 touchdowns. There's something in the Zoom calls. It's got to be.
Yeah, it's the Zoom magic. I think this is a great matchup. Should be a lot of fun. High-scoring game. I definitely think that the Raiders have a chance to win this one. Still going to stick with the Chiefs, though. Thank you, everyone, for listening. That is all the time that we have. We hope you enjoy the Sunday night matchup and the game analysis we just gave to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the episode. Just always check us out on YouTube, Just Saying Football, justsayingfootball.com, and Just Saying OGWJS on Instagram for all your video updates. Thank you.
Thank you.